Aggressively Casual.
Welcome everybody to Aggressively Casual Season 2, Episode 5. I, as always, am your host, Freebird. With me, as always, is my co-host to my internet left. It's Cheeks. Say hi, Cheeks.
Good evening.
Cheeks, how are you?
Well, you know, running around like crazy.
What?
I'm
Never.
trying to figure out if this is really a good spot for my camera. Because I can't look at you. When I look at you, I look away from the camera.
Uh-huh.
Like, this is me looking at you.
Okay.
My camera is all the way over here. Because that's the middle. That literally puts me in the middle of my frame.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, whatever. Oh, well.
I get you.
Just know, chat, I am looking and appreciating.
It's true. Looking, appreciating, commenting, silently.
You, I'm sure, beautiful people.
Would never, ever judge you, chat. Ever.
Yeah. Never.
Well, Cheeks, what you been up to? What you been playing in the past couple of weeks?
Mostly Destiny. This
What?
last little bit of week. Yeah, I know, surprising, right? Holy balls, they're playing Destiny.
All right.
A little bit of Dune. But really, mostly Destiny. When I haven't been in the music studio, it's been mostly Destiny.
Yeah.
The new. Oh God, I don't even want to call it an expansion.
That's
Whatever.
We'll get to that.
Content drop.
We'll get to that.
The new content drop, the Star Wars inspired content. We will get to that. They did some things right. They've done the same old shit in a lot of ways.
Right.
They did some shit that just makes you go, what?
Yep.
You know, things that make you go,
Yep.
But yeah, I did try this little. I'm not going to mention the name of it because it needs some work. I did try this little retro racing game that has some potential. Hopefully, the devs will get the issues fixed up, and it'll be a little fun game if you like old school, like Super Sprint, or even actually more like old school Micro Machines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, they'll get that fixed up, and I can do some video on it.
Nice. That'll be awesome. Yeah,
I did glance at Star Wars.
because the new content yesterday.
We played some Star Trek at one point too.
We did. We did some Stowe with Nell. I would presume that's something that's going to happen again soon. Let's see. I've done some Destiny 2, obviously, with you. My review will hit tomorrow, I think. Maybe Friday. We'll see. I've a couple things I want to edit, but we'll talk about a lot of it tonight, I'm sure.
At one point, you had like 3 scripts to send me, and I have yet to see one, so...
I've got to do that, too. That's right. Those are on my list. Beyond that, I've been designing my house in World of Warcraft.
For Destiny, too.
I should. I'll add that to the list. Been designing my house in World of Warcraft and hanging out in Star Wars: The Old Republic with the new update yesterday, which is interesting. The content itself, like the story content in the new SWTOR update, expectedly is very short. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of story content. Right. But the stuff on Dantooine, I haven't gotten too far into that yet. But I have a feeling that that's going to be the content that they're going to want you to kind of come back to and play.
Right.
And I have a feeling that I haven't seen if they've time-gated anything yet. So I'm interested to see if they've time-gated something in there or how that all works. But it's really interesting. But like I said, the story content in SWTOR is really good. I want to see more, and supposedly we're getting more fairly soon. Now that they are able to roll updates out fairly fast, it sounds like. Given that the actor strike is now long over, they have some kind of stuff kind of in the can, as it were. But I figure we should probably just jump into the banner topic for this evening, which is
we did hear that we're getting a new Divinity game.
Oh, supposedly. It's Wednesday, December 10th, as we're recording this. Tomorrow is the Game Awards, where obviously we get not only the Game Awards, obviously, but Jeff Keighley likes to have a bunch of announcements thrown in for various games and whatnot. Supposedly, there's some big Star Wars thing happening. I'll believe it when I see it, because we've heard that for years, and then there's nothing. Although a buddy of mine who who does contracting for Aspire, who's done a bunch of those like Star Wars like remaster ish games, and that they were also handling the KOTOR remake. Just kind of sent me an eyes emoji when I asked him if there was anything I needed to worry about on Thursday night. So we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. It'll definitely be interesting. But beyond that, I'm trying to think if there's anything. We've kind of hit the slow period for gaming news because not a lot comes out that's like around the holidays. Because everything that comes out for around the holidays comes out in like October and November. I'm trying to let's see. I don't really see much else. RAM prices.
Well, right. Well, and I think RAM prices going up because basically companies are now pushing towards the big AI bubble.
Yeah.
That's currently so they're killing like Micron just killed the Crucial line, which was their affordable line of RAM. I've used Crucial before. Right now I'm using whatever Micro Center's brand is.
Yeah.
But that will probably be going away too. So if I had to guess, it's probably made by Micron.
Right.
Most of these guys, most of these companies, no matter how many labels there are on these things, there's really only 2 or 3 companies that actually make the product.
Yep.
Everything else just gets slightly altered and licensed. It's the same way for GPUs, CPUs, etc. I think we're going to see if you have not upgraded your home PC, if you cannot do it soon, and it may even be too late because we are seeing, as you were seeing, RAM prices 64 gig for $1,000.
Right, that's the cost of a machine.
Beyond the fucking pale.
It's just insane. I even went like,
the thing, that's gonna trickle down, right? So as RAM prices go up, sales will go down. Sales of everything will go down. So all of the prices will go up. And then they'll have to go up to, and now some of this won't go up until like in packaged machines, I suspect the prices may not rise until that stock is gone and they have to replace stock.
Well,
because then they're going to have to pay more for the RAM.
Well, what's really interesting is that like when this happened with the GPU shortage during the pandemic, I was still working at a repair shop, and what we did is we bought boxed machines and pulled the GPUs out of them, and then sold the other parts and made our money back, and then made a huge killing on selling the GPU or building a computer with the GPU in it. Like it was just insane. It was absolutely insane. Like I'm looking at Micro Center right now. I had to pull it up as you were talking. It's probably already too late. The G-Skill 64 gig kit of RAM is $780. Like, I mean, we're talking like stuff that a month ago was $150-$200. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna mortgage my house
right now.
Yeah,
I think I'm using Corsair right now.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna go $1,000 into debt to upgrade my RAM. It's not happening.
Right.
It's just not happening.
Well, and it's like even when I upgraded my machine a few months ago now, it hasn't been a year yet. It was still, I ended up paying, more than what I wanted to pay.
Right.
Obviously. And the funny thing was, I did finally manage. I did get out of it for no more than what I had just started from the ground up.
Right.
Because I ended up, as you recall, this cascade failure began.
Yep.
As I started replacing pieces, and I ended up basically taking it back down to the case anyway.
Right.
So, but I got out of that for about the same as we had spent some time pricing shit out. I ended up spending probably a little bit less, but that was partially because I took things that were available at the time.
Yeah.
Like the CPU that I have is technically, well, for gaming, the CPU that I have sits a notch behind the one that you use.
Yep.
One notch.
One notch.
But for all around PC use, flop that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's still a Ryzen 9 9900, which is
Right.
their top
Yeah.
thing. It certainly runs everything I throw at it without breathing hard.
Right.
Although since I've upgraded to Windows 11, it's breathing a little harder. I've noticed this all the way around. My studio takes up more space, more RAM, and I have 128 gig of RAM in this thing.
Damn.
So you're talking about $5,000-$6,000 worth of RAM at this point. Maybe I should just sell my RAM.
All
Pay
right.
off my
Maybe.
debts.
Right. Cover
You know?
your right. It's just insane, man. It's just like I said, it's absolutely insane. I
And
cannot
it's
believe.
until the AI bubble bursts, and it will. Don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Don't at me. The AI bubble will burst.
Absolutely.
AI itself is not going anywhere. Whether
Right.
you like it, whether you don't like it, it ain't going anywhere.
Right.
And it has some legitimate uses. Hey, Buck. Now,
Hey,
for
Buck.
art and music, AI could die in a fire. There are a few tools that are quote unquote AI assisted.
Yeah.
Fun fact, they're not.
Right.
Because we call a lot of things AI that are in fact not AI.
Right. Right.
But
it's
anyway, that bubble will pop.
AI is the good marketing buzzword. So
Right. AI right now is the marketing buzzword, but that bubble will pop. The prices will somewhat level out. They may not come. They'll
absolutely.
probably never come back down
Right.
to where we want them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I as always, as someone who has been into PC computing since basically the PC existed for the
Yeah.
most part, it has been fascinating to watch the technology. But I still say, to this day, that we're looking at the wrong thing, because when it comes to PC parts, we look at number go up, right?
Yeah.
CPUs used to be really easy to understand. If it was a faster CPU, better.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now trying to figure out which CPU is your best bang for your buck with all the weird naming conventions.
Yep.
It's like, guys, come on.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, number go up. But they need to bring the damn bus speed up to match the CPU speed. And I
Yeah.
mean match it.
Oh yeah.
Megahertz for megahertz. And you would see exponential increases in computing power.
Absolutely. But they won't
But
do that for consumer
that
machines.
number doesn't move product.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So,
Exactly. They don't care, and they know how to market to people who are enthusiasts or people who build, high end gaming rigs and stuff like that. They know how to market to them and they know the words they have to say to get you to go, ooh,
Right.
must buy, oh, need. That's their job.
They know what words kick off Pavlov's bell.
Exactly.
I mean, it is what it is, right? And I'm just as guilty as anyone else at
Oh,
times.
sure.
I'm like, ooh, shiny.
Sure. But regardless of
Windows
that,
11,
yeah,
we talked about that too. Windows 11, as operating systems improve, and I use the word improve lightly, as they get easier for the average user to use, they get more problematic for the power user to get to those same features that make them a power user.
absolutely.
Windows is a prime example of this.
Oh, absolutely. It drives me absolutely. The things that I used to be able to do on Windows, right? That I now have to jump through 85 different hoops or fucking go into the settings and turn off goddamn user account control because Microsoft is like, are you sure you really want to do this? Yes, I'm sure I want to install the program, Microsoft.
Right. Are you sure? Are you sure that you're sure?
Are you really sure? My favorite is when you download something from the internet now. If it's not a verified application by Windows, it'll go, we've protected your PC. Oh, big scary thing. And I'm like,
yeah, how about you stop?
How about you stop?
First thing I've done for the last, I don't know, since they put it in, was the very first thing I do on my home PC is go in and turn off UAC. First thing. That's it. User access control off. I will control what goes on my machine.
Yep.
If I screw that up, that's on me.
Well, and that was the point I was about to make. 20 years ago, if you fucked up, guess what? You knew it. Right. You knew it. Well, granted, we also lived back then, 25 years ago, we also lived in a realm where if I downloaded something, there was a damn good chance it had a virus attached to it.
Well, depending on where you download it from, yeah.
I would never.
Linux these days has the "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
Right.
Going used to back in the day. If you tell Linux to do something, you say, "Okay, I did it." You're like, "Oh wait, I didn't want you to do that."
Oh,
too late.
Too late. Guess what? You're spending your entire night rebuilding your machine. Congratulations.
I had this very discussion today about rebuilding machine because I'm having some issues.
Yeah.
With Bitwig not wanting to load a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on here?
Right.
And I've got it working in Bitwig Beta 6 version 6.
Okay.
Bitwig 6 Beta 6. It stopped working in 7 and 8, but it worked. I swear to you, it worked yesterday in 7.
Right.
Before I installed 8. And then it quit working, and I could not get it back working. Now, in order to get it to work in 6, I had to uninstall 8.
Yep.
Open up Bitwig 5, which is the actual current release version.
Okay.
Open up the plugin. Close everything out. Install 6, and then it'll open in 6.
Okay.
But if I try to install 8, I have to repeat that entire process.
That's really stupid.
It is really dumb, and what that tells me is there's something they've done in 8.
Yeah.
That has tricked this, and I'll send in a bug report later.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't done it yet because 8 literally just dropped today.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that it's going to do it more than one. See, yeah, Bitwig 6 seems to be fine. So and I've done this before. When Bitwig 6 Beta 2 dropped, it just sucked. So I stayed on 1 until we got to like 4.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and
4 and 5 were 4, 5, and 6 were good, and now we're in another series of. Well, I'll just wait.
And Buck is right. It sounds like a gigantic headache that shouldn't be a headache. It shouldn't be.
Well,
it shouldn't be a headache.
You got ever played well together? You're absolutely right. It shouldn't be, but it is, and it's kind of for lack of a better word, a known headache.
Yeah.
Windows and music software just don't play nice together.
Right.
Of course, everybody would be like, oh, switch to a Mac. Well, if you've got the money so that I can replace all of my plugins with the Mac versions, because not all the companies offer Mac, you buy the PC, you're buying the VST or the AU.
Right.
Then I will gladly switch over if someone else is going to pay for it. But I have far
bankroll.
Too much money. I have far too much money invested in the VST environment to just switch it. And then some people are dumb. They're like, well, switch to Linux. Right. And then none of my shit works.
Right. I was going to say, then nothing works. Hey.
But anyway.
You didn't actually want your shit to work, did you?
Without any more and certainly further ado, let's get to it.
All right. So I got thoughts about Destiny Renegades, man.
Season episode dropped this week.
What did you call it?
Expand a season episode.
Expand a season episode. Yep, that's perfect.
They don't know what the hell it is, so why should we?
Why should we? Right?
They're calling it an expansion. If this it's more like a mini expansion. It's about half of what I would think an expansion should be. We'll just go right with that.
Here's a preview for my review tomorrow. Right?
It's a lot of padding.
I said this is actually a $10 season wearing a $40 trench coat.
You're not wrong.
Because when you think, and this is why I said, let me quantify this for a second. I want to see if you agree with me. When you think of a Destiny expansion, right? You think of big set piece missions, right, where you go and a story is told through the mission, and then it continues through a cutscene, and you kind of rinse and repeat throughout the missions, right?
Well, part of the story is told through the mission.
Fair.
The rest of it you got to look up offline into the lore books.
Well, you're not wrong, but that's always been Destiny's problem. But
Right.
what we got this time around is a story that's pretty good. The story's pretty good because, but it's dropped in to the same versions or similar versions of one mission that you do across 3 different locations, which, by the way, is what the end game ends up being.
Right.
So so the excuse is that I've seen thrown about on social media, Reddit, Steam reviews. The excuse is, well, they're just preparing you for the end game. Bullshit.
Except it doesn't.
Except it doesn't.
We discovered that real quick. It's like, wow, this is way harder than it was in the campaign.
Like we are talking like it's not a step up from where you are in the campaign. It's like a giant leap up from where you are in the campaign. You go from, I can go and do all this and whatever, and I really don't have to use these renegade abilities and hi, look, everything's dead. To
just raw stomped.
Right, you're getting raffle stomped, and it's just insane. Now look, here's
as far as the story. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's not move forward yet. Is it pretty good?
Now, let me.
I'm talking.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There is a decent story in there. There are a lot of plot jumps that happen completely and totally off screen. Just you're like, wait, how did we get here? There should have been like 10 minutes of dialogue somewhere that moved me from this point to that point. Also, don't put pertinent story dialogue in your little activity. Leave that in the campaign.
But Cheeks, they cry. It's in the in-game lore books.
Well, right. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you're telling a decent story. Well, what could have been a decent story. I was reading an article. I was reading a review of this.
Yeah.
And it was, or watching a video, something, I don't know. But it was quoting the devs, and they, possible spoiler alert. If you haven't played it and you care, hit the mute button. They were talking about, we took the Revan Kylo Ren combo and we put some Destiny pizzazz on it. And I was like, sure, if by pizzazz you mean you went completely emo goth type Kylo Ren, kind of forgot how cool Revan was, and even how cool that Kylo Ren himself could have been. Hot take, I know. And you turned that up to 11 and made him completely annoying to the point where I'm like, please just shut up.
Yep.
And this is going to be a reoccurring villain. They love this guy so much, they're going to keep bringing him back.
Well, and that's
he sits right there next to Spider.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is like that's the other thing is that the end of the campaign feels like it wasn't the end, it was the middle of the campaign.
Well, it's not the end. The ending we got was like, huh? You know, and if we look at the past, I get that the end is technically the dungeon, and it always has been the / dungeon or the raid. But the cutscenes you get, go back to Taken King, Rise of Iron, Forsaken, even Curse of King Osiris, which everybody seems to hate. I actually liked. Final Shape, all of it. Lightfall, even, whatever, all of it. The cutscenes you get at the end of the campaign feel meaningful.
Yep.
They feel like, okay, this is the end of the story.
Yep.
You know, and the dungeon raid becomes an epilogue. The only one that didn't feel that way was the Final Shape, and that was on purpose. But even then, you still participate in that battle.
Yep.
Of the big fight to witness battle.
Yep.
And this was like, okay, we blew up the thing, and then you're just done.
Done.
You're like,
Well, and my thing is like
wait. I'm gonna do my John Travolta Pulp Fiction thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So
As a matter of fact, I believe if you run it back, I even go, "That's it."
yes. Yes.
Like, oh,
I will also say this. I think that Bungie made a big mistake in adding those little quest step numbers to their quest steps.
Yeah.
Because now, as nice as it is to know where we are, right? So we can kind of gauge, okay, do I want to push through this for the evening? Or do I want to put, do I want to stop playing for the night and we'll pick it back up tomorrow or whatever, right? As nice as that is, it ruins the experience of not knowing when the campaign is over. Because if I hadn't known that was the last mission, I would have expected that to be like an intermission or like a pause where they time gated something. And I would have been really, really mad when I found out, or actually, really, really angry when I found out that was the last mission.
They developed this entire story and then just took a hatchet to it to edit it. Yeah. And whatever was left, they went, okay, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, mission 4, mission done. Here you go. That's the story. Well, and there are huge chunks of this missing, lore book or not. There are still huge chunks that are missing in the actual story if you care about that sort of thing. Obviously, some people don't.
Well, here's what's interesting for me is that Lucasfilm Games and Lucasfilm in general is notorious for being difficult to work with. Ask me how I know.
And all this stuff has to get approved.
All of this had to get approved. So at some point, but here's the thing. At some point, you have to wonder, did Bungie promise them, X, Y, and Z, and get X, Y, and Z approved, and only deliver on X and Y? Because that's what it feels like.
But somebody somewhere, even at Lucasfilm, had to have final sign-off that said, yeah, you can release this.
Sure.
Because that's how those licenses worked in the past.
Sure, but here's the other thing, is that it could also be that the license said, and we'll never know, we can only speculate, right? Until 20 years from now when a tell-all book is written, right? Or some or some no-clip documentary comes out, right? But it could have been that Lucasfilm said that they gave Lucasfilm Games. It could have been that they gave Lucasfilm Games an outline of where they wanted to go. Lucasfilm signed off on that, and then Lucasfilm signed off on all of the Star Wars-ifying of Destiny, and that's it. So we'll never know. But my thing is that, like, I sat there and I think I said it the first night we were playing. I said, if this wasn't Star Wars, would I be having as good of a time? And the answer
was definitively no.
Yeah, the answer was no. Because it felt like more Destiny. It felt, which I knew we were going to get going into it. But don't get me wrong, I am not one of those people, and I don't think you are either. We were not under the assumption that this was magically going to change the game. I think we even talked about that.
No.
I think we even talked about that. We were not under the assumption.
There's not been enough time between them deciding, hey, we're listening, and
right, there hasn't been enough time. So, like, on one hand, right. Renegades finally fully leans into that, Star Warsian thing they've kind of always been on the outskirts of, right? They're a fantasy game, because let's be honest, what they are. They are a fantasy game in space.
It's definitely a science fantasy game.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've leaned into that fully. You get the licensed Lucasfilm stuff. You get the cantina. You get the lightsaber. That's not a lightsaber. The Praxic blade.
Licensed yet legally distinct. Lightsaber.
On the other hand, right. That was dropped onto a game that's bled players for months, and really has bled players for over a year now, since the final for a year and a half.
This has the lowest start of any expansion ever.
it's drowning in 8,000 different systems you have to learn or relearn if you're coming back. I remember you and I asking Jeff how many questions about, okay, what does this mean? What does this do? How is this different now? Like, I felt like I needed a PhD to play the goddamn game when I was starting, right? And then it's still stapled to an Eververse that feels to me like a bad sponsorship deal.
It feels
like
exploitive.
Like they
Really
started
does at this point.
they just started saying yes to everything that they thought would make them money.
$20, chat, for one set of armor.
That ain't happening. As much as I love Star Wars, and I think I said this when the Stormtrooper armor came out, right? Yeah. I said, as much as I love Star Wars, and as much as I loved Destiny, I am not paying you $20 for a Bo-Katan armor skin. I'm not. It's not happening.
Had it been all three for $20, I would have seriously considered it. I freely admit
Yep,
this.
absolutely. But here's the part that bugs me about those armor sets, and it's always about Destiny armor sets, right? I cannot mix and match my transmog. Everything is class specific. At this point,
I mean,
we are.
You can mix and match.
Yeah.
You can mix and match within your class, but not with out of your class.
But
they're like, well, it's, I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with it. It's a fucking ornament. At this point, what I'm actually wearing is immaterial.
At this point, I am 11 years into my Destiny journey. Let me do what I want with the shit I buy with my money.
The argument there is, well, I can't tell what you're wearing in PvP. You can't tell what I'm wearing if I'm wearing an ornament anyway.
Then don't allow it in PvP.
Right. The answer is disable ornaments in PvP.
Then don't, which they already do, by the way. And here's the thing: they already disallow the exotic swapping thing in PvP. So don't tell me they can't do it.
So, but
because they can.
I am not a day one player. That's not entirely true. I was a day one player, and I hated it. I was like, nah, this is not for me.
Yeah, fair.
Fast forward to the end, towards the end of year one, when I moved up to Kansas City, I was living away from my wife. I was staying with some friends. She played Destiny. One of the friends played Destiny and was raving about it. And she's like, here, get on my account. Give it a shot. I'm like, okay, I got nothing else to do. This was right near the end of Sparrow Racing, maybe the second time, because it was right before the Taken King.
Yep.
So I started playing it. I was like, okay, but they had made some changes by then, right? Some changes went in between day one and the Taken King, so there was quite a bit of changes to the way everything worked, and I was like, okay, I like this now. So I ended up buying it onto my account and played through all of it, then Taken King, Rise of Iron, all that stuff into Destiny 2.
Yep. And hell, I went from Destiny on my 360 to Destiny on my Xbox One to Destiny 2 on my Xbox One. Then I went and then I went to the Destiny to Destiny 2 on PC when it came out, and had to restart, by the way. Because there was no transfer.
Right, there was no transfer.
There was no transfer back then.
So here's a hot take on that, Buck. They never should have put crafting into Destiny 2.
They never should have put crafting. They never should have put crafting.
They should have left it as drops. You are in a looter shooter. Half of the game is chasing the god roll that you want.
But Cheeks, it's not a looter shooter. It's an action MMO. Except now it's not anymore. You see they updated the Steam description?
Bullshit. It's a looter shooter. It's always been a looter shooter. It's one of the progenitors of the fucking genre. Did
you see they updated the Steam description today? Or last week?
Not.
Yeah, They took the
What are we now?
Huh?
What are we now?
I'll hold on. I'll find it real quick. Keep talking.
Yeah, but they should have never put crafting in there, because as much as what they put in was a hot fucking mess. But when the entire game loop is chasing the gun,
right? All right.
When you take that away, well, now what am I doing? Now I'm chasing the materials, which is
Right?
not nearly as cool of a carrot.
So here's what it used to say up until a couple of days ago. It said Destiny 2 is an action MMO with a single evolving world that you and your friends can join anytime, anywhere, absolutely free. Right?
Hang on just a second. Let me know if that's any better, Jeff. Jeff was saying my voice was a little low, so I turned me up on my end. We'll see if that helps.
It sounds good to me. Now it says, dive into the world of Destiny 2 to explore the mysteries of the solar system and experience responsive first-person shooter combat. Unlock powerful elemental abilities and collect unique gear to customize your Guardian's look and playstyle. Enjoy Destiny 2's cinematic story, challenging co-op missions, and a variety of PvP modes alone or with friends. Download for free today and write your legend in the stars. But that is very different and a very deliberate choice of words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choice of words there.
You should have let me read that in the movie guy voice, and it would have all sounded better if you started out with "in a world."
Right.
Yeah.
So look,
but the fact of the matter is, it's a looter shooter. It's always been a looter shooter. It's still a looter shooter. Which, speaking of God rolls, I got the one I was after the other night. It wasn't a drop; it was a random get from turning in materials, but I still got the one I was after.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then promptly started using different guns anyway. So okay, that was fun. But yeah,
so
so far as the seasonal activity, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Once you get past the campaign, because again, the campaign only it prepares you for that in only the weakest of ways.
Yeah.
So, but once you get into that, and that's going to be your loop now for the rest of it. Each activity takes far too long to complete because you're on a 23-minute, 24-minute timer.
27.
Right. It's like, just give me a 30-minute fucking
timer.
Call it
a half. Yeah, call it a half hour. Yeah.
So, but that means if you're struggling, which sometimes we were, but even when we weren't struggling, it was still taking 20-ish minutes to go through one run.
Felt way too long.
It just felt way, and some of them take far longer. So I'm like, okay, and they're pretty intense. I'll give them that. They've racked up the intensity of said thing by just throwing more mobs at you. So after a while, I can't. I'm not in a position anymore to just sit there and grind that crap for 3 or 4 hours a night. I'm like, no, I'm now exhausted from playing a game.
Right.
Trying to keep up that level of conversation, because here's the fun fact about games. Games are entertainment, folks.
Right?
It's weird. That's a hot take, I know.
Game shouldn't be your job.
So we've been doing 2, I think the most runs we did in a single night was 4 so far. Yeah. And that was because we failed it a couple early.
Yeah.
By losing all the revives.
Yep.
So again, so before you at me again, we have never ever claimed to be top tier Destiny players.
No, God,
ever.
No. Yeah, no.
That claim has never left any of our mouths, and it never will. So, but we're the average player. We're the every other player, the guys that don't get paid to play video games and burn through the content in 2 fucking days, and they're literally everything is maxed out.
Right.
But then there are a couple of particular streamers.
But then there are also
now that we've got everything maxed out, I'm like, this thing released 3 fucking days ago.
Right. But then those are also the ones who cry that there's no content in the game anymore. So
right now there's no content. Yeah. So
But what do we know, chat? What do we know?
Right. But the story. Get back to that. But the activity itself, other than the fact that there's only 3 variations, that's another thing. Yeah. So it's gonna get real old real fast.
Yep.
It's just like strikes. It's like, God, how many times do I have to run this same strike because your randomization sucks?
Yeah.
So
like, here's what
I will say: the loot that we've been getting from successful runs
has been great.
Pretty decent.
It's pretty good. Well, and even then,
it's
one that we
much
failed
better than running a strike for 1 fucking weapon.
But the one that we failed, The one that we failed last night, the last one when you and I got really frustrated, we're like, fuck this, we're done.
Right.
I still got like 3 or 4 upgrades that were like 8 or 9 levels above where I was
last
at.
night. It's like, is this a bug? Because we failed this and we still got like a full loot roll.
Did
we? Is this a bug?
It's either a bug. It's either a bug or it's because you have that.
I have
that
the catch-up one. The returner player.
It's either
that could be that too.
So
it could be too. That very well could be. I forget about that.
I forget about that too, to be honest. But I think technically I have it too because I haven't played. But
you'll have it by nature of playing with me anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But
because if you play with anyone who has the returner buff, you get the returner buff while you're playing with them.
That's right. So here's in my mind, right, and I want to see if you agree with me. I'm actually interested to see where you agree with me. Here's what I think that Renegades gets right, because we said last night they got a lot right and a lot wrong, right?
Right.
So the Star Wars look and feel, the energy, that's well done. It's very well done.
Pretty well done, yeah.
I don't think Lucas, and again, to the point, I don't think Lucasfilm would have signed off on it if it wasn't well done. Right.
Although oddly enough, there were a few sounds that I thought they missed the boat on.
I do too. I do and I don't. Well, because let me come back to that in a second. The actual set piece missions that we do get feel like a little bit of a Star Wars TV show. That's really cool, right? The boss fights having more mechanics and being less bullet spongy, good, really good.
Right.
Thank you.
Except that one boss who was just kind of worthless.
Oh, you mean the last boss?
Well, right. It's
ridiculous.
Wow, that's it, huh?
That was the fight.
Huh?
That was the fight. Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I was waiting for another phase.
And then sound design, especially when it comes to music, hits the what this is referencing, cue, without just copy pasting John Williams music all over the place, right?
Right.
The campaign is good. Destiny.
I'm gonna quote Dado on this one.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's not rewrite the meta good, and I said in my preview article it doesn't need to be, right? But it at least tells a coherent story. If it's a little disjointed, it is at least coherent and consecutive, right? We're not jumping all over the place somehow like we've done in fucking New Light. The exotics are cool. The Praxic Blade is cool. That exotic machine gun you get for the season pass, cool. The legendary rolls you can get, like the one that you have for the pulse rifle, the with hatchling and.
No, I got the legendary. Well, I got the legendary version of the Han Solo blaster.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You got that one too. But those are cool. They feel pretty good. And then on the flip side, well, first off, I guess we should say, do you agree with that?
Most of it. One thing I do like too. I will say that again, and I said this while we were playing. The way they do the mechanic for these Star Wars guns, and accounting for the fact that they don't actually have ammo.
Oh yeah. The heat,
but still keeping it grounded in the Destiny universe is good. The way that heat mechanic works is actually really good. Because you do get the Star Wars gun, but you're not just spray and play everywhere.
Worst expansion or DLC? New Light.
Lightfall, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. Lightfall. Sorry. Yeah. Lightfall, hands down. Because
there
Lightfall.
There were parts of Lightfall that I liked, but they dropped the ball on that one pretty hard.
Well, it's because Lightfall was Witch Queen DLC.
Well, right. Lightfall was supposed to be part of Witch Queen. And it was very obvious it was supposed to be part of Witch Queen.
Right, and Witch Queen was it was for a lot of people the pinnacle of Destiny 2 DLC. I said a lot of people.
I disagree.
I said a lot of people.
I think Forsaken was.
I think Forsaken
really.
was. I agree. Yeah, but but on the
Curse of
on the
Osiris, it was great.
no, I mean it was okay.
It wasn't great. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't
Yeah,
great.
it wasn't great. I didn't hate it, but yeah, it was. Yeah.
As normal with Destiny, there were concepts that they introduced there they didn't follow through.
What? That never happens.
Right.
But on the
okay, don't misunderstand me, Buck. I'm not saying Witch Queen was bad. I'm just saying it was not the pinnacle of Destiny 2.
Yeah. Forsaken for me and for a lot of people was the pinnacle of
the
Destiny
2 expansions.
Yeah.
I would say Forsaken, Witch Queen,
Shadowkeep,
Final Shape, Shadowkeep, and then the rest.
Okay, because I firmly place like Forsaken is Forsaken and Final Shape for me are like a 1A 1B type of thing.
Yeah. See, I give them credit for sticking the landing.
Yeah.
So mostly it's more like a small hop on the landing. Olympic fans.
I was crying.
I don't think they stuck it completely. I honestly don't think they stuck it completely. But I am notoriously tough on story. You can see that just by this particular conversation.
Yeah.
But in the past, I've seen Bungie tell amazing stories. They can't end one for shit, by the way. They could tell a story, they just can't end one. Much like Marvel Comics, they don't know how to end their events.
It's true.
They all just kind of fizzle out.
They all just kind of fizzle out, and then the next thing you know, hey, another event.
All right. Great.
Thanks.
So far as the story here, I think there was a really, really good story in here. I think a lot of it got cut out and chopped up.
Yeah, me too.
I hope a lot of it got cut out and chopped up, because if this was their actual plan to deliver, then they need more help than I was aware of.
Right.
They do make some questionable story choices. Not in the fact of, oh my God, what were you thinking? But of, well, that's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, they're completely getting behind this character. I would have preferred with this character that they leaned more towards the Revan side than the Kylo Ren side.
Yeah.
So basically what you have is Kylo Ren with a better looking mask. Because let's face it, the Kylo Ren mask is not a great look.
No.
It's like, that's a choice, Kylo. That's a choice. I get it. But so and the Revan character is actually pretty cool if you play SWTOR and you're familiar with Darth Revan.
Yeah.
I would have preferred they leaned more that way than, but I kind of understand why they didn't story-wise. Right. But we still haven't met the Palpatine character, who's Darth Vale. Dredgen Vale, not Bale, Vale, because let's just choose two names that sound almost exactly alike.
Right.
That's brilliant. So we don't really meet Dredgen Vale, who the prevailing, and this is not a spoiler, this is a prevailing theory, is they think is Shin Malphor. Malphor, if you follow Destiny lore, that name will mean something to you. If you don't, it means shit. The Loom character was a waste of space.
Yep.
Who was supposed to be the quote unquote kind of Darth Vader-ish character.
The
dude literally shows up in the first cutscene. He shows up. The door bows him. He walks in. He turns around and says, "By the way, this is Dredgen Bale," and you don't see this dude again until the last fight.
Yep.
And he has like 2 lines of dialogue.
Yep, it's great.
It's like, why do I give 2 craps about this guy? Which maybe is why that fight sucked, because it was like, oh wow, that explains why he doesn't show up, because it was hands down, as boss fights in Destiny go, that was the lamest boss fight we have ever had.
Bad.
It was, and I mean, it's 2 phases of hardly nothing. It's basically a tank and spank. It's mostly just a spank.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, and I was gonna say, like, here's where the mood nosedives, right? Like, in other words, where everything kind of falls flat on its face. We talked about it a little bit, but the pricing of the expansion, right? Renegades by Bungie is officially described as
Right.
a medium-sized expansion.
That's pushing it.
I mean, I'm
That's
gonna,
pushing it.
I'm gonna quote from my review again here. Just a bunch of players feel like they just paid full expansion money for something that feels like an extra spicy season. Because again, like it's for what it is a good DLC. It is a step in the right direction for Bungie. It's a bad value. Do not buy it at $40.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a step in the right direction if they follow through with some of this stuff.
Well, right.
Right.
Well, it is a. I said step, not leap, for a reason.
We'll
Launch numbers.
I have, admittedly, I have zero confidence in Bungie at this point.
Launch numbers are bad. Launch numbers on Steam.
Launch numbers on Steam were terrible.
Were bad. Very bad.
And I don't have that site anymore. I don't have my bookmark anymore for the one that collates all of it.
Yeah. And then,
so if you still have it, send it to me. So, and the thing is too, we're not even 2 weeks into this,
right?
And now pretty much everyone's just talking about what's the next one, Shadow and whatever.
Yeah. Well, and
so we've already forgotten. We've already moved on.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, that happened.
Right. And so my thing is that even when people are liking the story, right? And I've seen a lot of, wow, this story is incredible. This story is great. You know, whatever you think of the story, it's your opinion, right? But even when people are liking the story, there is this constant, I'm not sure if it's worth what people paid for it, like, tone to everything. And
right.
The other thing that really kind of drives that it's not worth what you're paying for it nail into the coffin is the Eververse.
Sure.
Because Renegades nails the Star Wars look and feel. But they shove half of the coolest things that you can
Most
get.
of the coolest shit is in the Eververse.
In the Eververse. And it
Yep.
the cognitive dissonance is amazing, right? The cognitive dissonance because players like the theming, right? But they're tired of seeing so much of it become microtransaction bait rather than stuff that I can play in the game. And it just doesn't make it make sense because like there's the Star Wars inspired armor, right? There's the cosmetics like the ships and the ghost shells and all that. Those should be campaign rewards. Those should be pass rewards, right?
But instead, it's the Eververse, and it's going to cost you on a conservative amount about another $150 to get up.
Right, and then you have, and then again, like this is all strapped onto a live service video game economy that is stretched pretty thin at this point from years of every company going,
sure,
become a job, like.
Right, and that's the thing.
You know,
at this point, they want games to be a second job, and that is just not how that shit works.
Right.
Well, it's not how it should work. Obviously, it is how it works because if it wasn't working, they'd stop doing it.
Well, for me, it would be worth it for $40 because if you buy it, you get Edge of Fate and Final Shape. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you.
I
don't give a damn if you do get Edge of Fate. That adds zero value.
Yeah, like Final Shape is Troy. Final Shape is well worth the price of admission if you get
Final Shape to play through.
If you get Final Shape with it, absolutely. But here's the but if you don't even bother. But like,
I'm
look,
not sure that you do though.
And I will say this, right? Renegades for returning players or even new players, right? Is not a good jumping in point. It's not.
Well, no.
It's not.
No. If you're somebody who wants to play Destiny now because hey, it's got Star Wars in it, you're going to be very, very lost.
Well, and here's something I caught, right? Your first experience with Renegades, especially if you've been away since Final Shape, right? And like Renegades and Star Wars kind of pulled you back in, right? Your first experience isn't the cool Star Wars shit. No. You're getting lost in the gearing and progression reworks.
Well, right.
While the game doesn't explain any of it to you.
The game doesn't explain any of it. Yeah.
It explains
Well, they didn't
nothing.
explain it when they didn't explain it when they released it either.
Well, to be fair, they did in a blog post.
Well, sure, in a blog post, which does not help inside the game at all, because your average player doesn't actually fucking read your blog, Bungie.
Nope.
Surprise.
They just play your game.
Right. And that's just it. Here's the thing, too, as a side note, that we all have to remember. We, as the internet community, are not the majority of the players. We really aren't. The majority of the people just come home, they fire it up for a couple hours, they play it, and they go do something else. Sure, and we can debate whether it should be free, not free, or not. You might be surprised where I fall in that particular debate. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Developers got to eat.
Fair.
Developers have to feed their families. Developers have to pay the bills. Asking these developers to do everything for free is, well, frankly, bullshit.
Yep.
The reason a company like WoW, like Blizzard, or even, the SWTOR guys can do that is because they make money elsewhere to absorb that loss. But when you're Bungie, as big as Bungie was, you have one basic product.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't begrudge them charging. I do sometimes begrudge them the amount that they charge.
Yeah.
And the egregious monetization of the Eververse.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a problem with the Eververse itself. I have no, that's part of the game. And I'm actually addressing that right now, Nell. Let me finish my statement, Nell. Come on. I will start singing. I will do all of this in song. Do not test me. $10 for the final shape? Absolutely worth it.
Absolutely do it. $10.
Absolutely worth it.
Dude, yeah, $10 for the final shape is worth it for the campaign crying alone.
But so it's not the Eververse that I object to. It's the stop. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm trying to finish a comment.
I can do this.
It's the prices, right? It's the prices in the Eververse. Again, $20 for one fucking set of armor. Fuck off.
All right. 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 Oh Lord. Oh, what? Oh, is it working? Is it working?
Did he mute me?
Did I mute him?
Did he mute me? He's like, fuck it, he's done. Click. Asshole.
It wasn't intentional.
Click. Uh-huh. And you can tell I don't know that because I don't have the sound everything twice.
Cheeks got muted. It was beautiful.
Nelstar, you can fuck right off. Yes, you can, my friend. But I love you. Let's go on Twitter later, Twitch later, or on TikTok later. Oh God.
Oh man.
Everything's better with interpretive dance.
You were saying there was a point you were making about the Eververse?
I have no idea at this point. Eververse. I don't object to the Eververse. I object to the prices in the Eververse. I also think that in the end, they would make more money with lower prices.
I agree.
Because
Absolutely.
then it becomes volume versus just pure price. But I'm not against people charging money for the things that they have created. I'm against them charging stupid prices for the things that they create.
Right.
Which is probably why I don't make much money from my music. If you go over onto my Bandcamp, every project on my ambient Bandcamp is at least 60 minutes of music. Not a single one of them is over $5.
Right.
So
Well,
I
and the
kind of
other,
practice what I preach on this
well,
one.
but I was also gonna say like even your Cheeks and Phoenix stuff,
Right.
like your digital
The
stuff,
Cheeks and
you
Phoenix
price that at
stuff
what, a
is
tenner?
priced. The Cheeks and Phoenix stuff is price. The digital stuff, yeah, is a tenner. The physicals are a 15 because that's the rest of the
Yeah,
industry. And
yeah,
what I mean by that is I am not going to undercut someone else and cause them to have to lower their prices because people bitch that, oh well, I can get, and this happens, by the way. There's
yeah,
actually an act in this particular area who have had it talking to several times of, look, you are causing everyone to lose money.
yeah,
I get that you don't need it. Some of these people actually do. But I've
yeah,
also not raised my prices either when other people have raised them. And I'm like, nah.
yeah. No,
So but point is, selling, it's not the selling, it's the stupid egregious selling
right.
that is causing the issue.
I mean, I sum up my review, and again, I know I'm kind of giving away most of my review here, but it is what it is, right? Destiny 2 Renegades is the kind of expansion that makes you remember why you loved this stupid, beautiful game in the first place, and then immediately reminds you why you keep threatening to uninstall it.
right. And also reminds you why you fucking hate it. Yeah,
Like
Destiny is definitely a love-hate thing. You know, we said this before. I want to love Destiny. I really do. I
Yeah.
want to go back to when I loved Destiny.
Yep.
That ship has sailed.
Yep.
Um,
And
the ship has sailed, and then they poked holes in it and burned it to the water line. So
right, but the thing about that though is at least we can admit that.
right.
At least we
With
can.
that being said, and I'm looking at you, Mr. Troll, not you now, different troll. We play what we want to play, even if it's a game that you think nobody should play in 2025.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
We play.
It is what it is, because again, games are entertainment. Play what you want to play. There are no guilty pleasures.
Absolutely.
If you like a game unironically, then by God, like that game unironically, but also understand that some people are not going to like that game. That is their right. It is your right to not like a game. It is not your right to impose that on everyone else. Just like it's not our right to impose a like of a game on everyone else. All we're doing is saying, hey, we like this game. Or, holy crap, this game sucks. Be careful if you decide to give this a try.
Right. We played Neverwinter in 2025. There's an argument whether or not that's entertainment, but we played it nonetheless.
Oh, we were entertaining. We were entertaining.
We were definitely entertaining. And listen, Nell, you can never tell me that what we do is not entertainment. Do you want to know why? Cheeks and I are Renaissance Festival entertainers.
All right, exactly. I've been playing bars since before he was alive.
There's the hierarchy of entertainers, right? And it goes, like movie stars, TV, whatever. And then there's Twitch streamers. And then, there's the gutter. And then there's Renaissance Festival entertainers.
I have met some very entertaining bartenders, actually. Yes. The good ones are absolutely entertaining.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, so... yeah, there's the sewer, there's a couple of sub-levels, there's some other stuff, there's a bunch of bedrock, and then you get to Renaissance Fair entertainers.
Yep, that's true.
I've been playing in bars since, well, before he was alive, to be honest, because I was 16 years old. That doesn't mean anything, by the way. It's like, I had this conversation with a guy today.
Cheeks, you're old as dirt.
Get off my lawn. No, Jeff is old as dirt. I'm only when by the time I came along, dirt was no longer white. Dinosaurs were now large.
Oh, okay, right.
So I was having a conversation with a fella today because I was trying to figuring out this problem with my PC, and he starts going through tech support 101, and I had to send him a back channel message. I'm like, bro, I love you, but I'm begging you, please stop with the tech support 101. And then we got into the fact that this is what I do for a living, and he's like, I'm like, no, I'm not trying to say that I'm better, but what I am trying to say is by the time I ask these questions, I've exhausted all of that, and all that means is I've had a career in something.
Yeah.
It just happened to be IT, just like other people have careers in plumbing, and they have careers in bartending, and they have careers in whatever. It just means that I had one, but this is what I do. So
Yep.
if I'm asking a question, like if Nell is asking a question about how to mix a particular drink, you can probably bet that he's already gone through all of the options to figure that out already.
Right.
So skip the whole, did you look it up in the Rolodex? Which reminds me, side note, did I tell you the story about trying to order a rattlesnake in Texas? No. That was fun. I got 4 different drinks. None of them were a rattlesnake. One of them was a B-52. That was weird.
Listen, but, man. None of it can be any worse than this, or better than the story you told about your parents buying you a bottle of rum in Jamaica.
All right. So oh God, I'm going to tell this story because it's great. My parents were going to Jamaica, and they're like, "What do you want us to bring you back?" And I said, "A bottle of rum." Full disclosure, I am a rum drinker. I like my rum. It should be dark and spiced. If your rum is clear, it's tequila. So, although Bacardi Silver makes a good mixer, I'll give it that. Okay, but anyway, so they go off to Jamaica, and they come back, and they're like, "Hey, we brought you a bottle of rum." Sweet! And they hand me a bottle of Appleton.
I can't.
I was like, "Mom, I can go 2 blocks up the road to the grocery store and get one of these." And she's like, "Well, it's Jamaican." Technically correct. It is, in fact, Jamaican.
I can't. It's just too good.
But what? You were in Jamaica? I didn't ask for a bag of weed, but I did kind of want you to stop at a kiosk on the side of the road, ask for some rum, and they pull out the bottle that just says XXX. No name, no brand, just, oh God, I was like, what the hell is this? And it's not even a good Jamaican rum. That's the thing. Appleton is swill.
I was going to say, Appleton's awful. Like, God.
I'd rather drink Sailor Jerry, for fuck's sake.
Ooh.
I'd almost rather drink Kraken. Almost.
Oh.
Right. So, yeah. Fuck. Like, it's like, you went all the way to Jamaica, and you bought me something I can get from the Albertsons up the street. Nice try.
Oh.
Attempt. Good effort, which is kind of what I tell Bungie about this story. Good effort.
Right, and that's kind of, and
she has swung that back around there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Right back around.
That was pretty good.
That's entertainment, folks.
That's called a callback.
Callback. Let's swing it around, baby. That's how Grandma died. We're losing control. We never had control. Never. There is no control.
I love
we
this.
played some Moria in there too.
We did, which we need to get back into. I really want to get back. I mean, well, one, we pay for the server.
So here's the thing. Two, here's the thing. We are easily distracted with new things, and part of that is the nature.
Never.
Well, part of it is the nature of doing this, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
About the things that are happening, which means we kind of have to play most of the things that are happening. Black Ops 7 notwithstanding.
Yeah.
Thought about it.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, everything except the new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You're easily distracted by Nell's addiction to MMOs.
I actually saw a video. Speaking of diverge, because we can. I think we've beat the dead horse enough. Anyway, I saw a video today, earlier today, this afternoon, that I tried EverQuest in 2025, and what he was talking about was the actual live game.
Yeah.
And basically, you want to talk about pay to win these days. You can buy a level 100 character. You can buy all the mercenaries you need in the store.
Oh God.
To basically just Rolf stomp most of the content.
Oh, that's fun.
In classic EverQuest. I think the money experience, so to speak, in EverQuest now lies on the progression servers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of games that you and I play have kind of gone that way.
Right. So here's one now. Speaking of MMOs that we should jump into at some point, and that's the Vanguard emulator. it's pretty feature complete at this point. For a while, it wasn't,
Yeah.
but most of it's there now. There are still some things that they just can't duplicate. But Vanguard was a great MMO. It really was. It never had a chance, basically. Um, and most of what we know of as Vanguard was developed in like 16 months because what they had sucked so bad. And they brought in, and I was actually watching a thing about this not too long ago, and they're like, we developed that. We came in and tore it down and rebuilt it in like 16 months.
Yeah.
But Vanguard was really the spiritual successor to EQ. The way it felt, the way it played, obviously because Brad McQuaid was involved and EverQuest was McQuaid's baby.
Fair.
Which brings us to Pantheon, which is kind of screwing the pooch.
Yeah.
You know, which I still have a passing interest in, to be honest. But not at the price they want.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing with Ashes of Creation. If Streamer
Right.
Santa wants to get one, wants to gift us a
Right.
code, I will
Gift
never
us
say
some
no.
codes, I will play. Yeah, if somebody gives me a key, I'll play anything, as evidenced by Vice Thief.
I'm never.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
I'm
lot.
never.
You're never gonna live that down. And
I'm never gonna live that one down, am I? Yeah.
You're really not.
As long as press X to skip is the thing, I'm never gonna live down the hour that
Right,
Cheeks playing Vice Thief Simulator.
It's because I couldn't play it for more than an hour. I couldn't play it for more than an hour. That was so bad. And it's rare. The weird part is it's rare that a game that bad really comes across my desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even tiny little indie games, which I actually love. Most of them aren't that bad. You're like, this is janky, but it was developed by one dude. In a bathroom at between the hours of 3 and 6 during the day. I mean, Spaceborne, for example, the first Spaceborne is janky, but it's really good. It's developed by one guy. Spaceborne 2 is really good, but he finally got a team, so it is in fact better. But yeah, we'll play just about anything. But Vanguard should be on the MMO list, the quote-unquote dead MMO list. And maybe actually, I wouldn't mind jumping into actual D&D online, not Neverwinter, but actual D&D online.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I haven't played that in young time. I'd like to give it another.
Oh, it's been several years since I went back and played it, but occasionally I go back and play that one too. But I really like that one. And thank you, baby. Burgers and fries. Burgers and fries and tea. Oh my.
Oh my.
Hang on, let me shut the door. Gotta shut the door so the cat does not escape. Just because that would cause quite the commotion when the cat wandered downstairs.
That would indeed cause quite the commotion when the cat wandered down.
What we're talking about is we're still introducing the cats to the dogs. It's going. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of things, and there's a few games I wish they'd bring back.
Fair.
Dungeon Runners. Dungeon Runners was a great kind of Baron Pretzels ARPG multiplayer experience.
Chat, if Cheeks mentions Dungeon Runners one more time, what do we win?
Tell you what, I'll stop mentioning that when you stop talking about Star Wars.
I'm kidding. I love you.
Well, actually, I would also love them to actually bring back Horizons, not that thing that it morphed into.
Yep.
Which I think is technically still playable, but Horizons, Tabula Rasa, for that matter.
Yeah,
Tabula Rasa had a lot of potential.
Tabula Rasa had a lot of potential. They just didn't get the they didn't get the support they needed.
Right? Was it Nell? What Nell was it? You the other night that mentioned Hellgate? Somebody mentioned Hellgate. I think it was you. Might not have been.
I think it was
the Hellgate London.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Would be great.
Hellgate London would be great. A decent Auto Assault. Yeah. Let's see what else. What else is on my dead MMO revival wish list?
I did try to go back and play Defiance again.
I mean, WildStar will
Yeah.
always be on my dead MMO revival wish list, but the EMU is in such a shit state right now.
Right.
It ain't great. How was Defiance again?
Better.
Did it?
I got distracted by other things, but you
Yeah.
know, but it was better than when it was at launch. The problem with that game is it never really had a chance either with the whole TV show crossover, and then the TV show crashed and burned in a single season. So
Yeah, the show
it was an interesting idea that was just
yeah.
it wasn't a great idea. It was an interesting idea.
It was an interesting idea.
Yeah.
That kind of. I think it. I honestly think it was ahead of its time. I think if that would have hit, if something like that would have hit now, it would have done gangbusters.
Right. Well, that's because they could have put the show on streaming as opposed to network television.
Yeah.
On Skiffy. Yeah. On Skiffy, which at the time was still the Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
Not just Sci-Fi.
Not just whatever,
Skiffy. I call it Skiffy these days. Because they had to change it so they could have a logo they can trademark.
Right. Why not?
What else have we? There was something else we played lately. Oh, we briefly kicked around Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah, I mean, I love Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
I will always dive back into Lord of the Rings.
Some time in RuneScape. We forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We did go back and spend some time in RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
Yep, and we'll definitely have to pick that back up once that new update comes out. I mean,
probably the most jank one we tried lately was Warhammer on. Holy
balls. You want to talk about
jank
you want to talk about the most? How the fuck did I ever play this when it was live MMO?
Right. I don't remember it being this bad.
I don't remember it being that. It was bad. It was real bad.
Something else we played, the Planet Crafter. Early access survival game.
Yes. I was like that's the survival game. Yes, it is. Yeah, that game is fun. I want to dive more into that. We did some on Moonlighter, which is interesting, and then we dove separately, but we dove into Guild Wars Reforged, which I really want to get more into.
Right.
And honestly, because since we're probably not going to be diving too much farther into Destiny right now, maybe we hit that this weekend. I mean, we have to run through the Catalyst mission. I want to get through the Catalyst and see how that works.
I think I agree with Jeff though. I think we need to wait. I think we need to wait till the next patch and let him change it.
You think so?
I have no issue waiting till they change it to make it slightly easier.
Yeah, fair.
I will unashamedly wait until it's easier.
I'll give you that.
I don't need to measure my EP and say I did this when it was stupid hard.
What? Well, good you don't? Since when?
And that just makes you a masochist,
right?
Hey,
Chad, did you know the games are supposed to be fun?
Destiny does not come with a safe word, by the way.
Wait, it doesn't? What?
No, I wish it did. Sabathoon! Hey, chat, by the way, don't sell views.
Don't sell views. It's bad, okay?
Bye-bye. I mean, you never see this because Twitch is actually fairly decent about picking up some of these guys.
They are.
But yeah, definitely, I got to catch up. I got to keep progressing in the Guild Wars campaign enough to get to the point where I could come over and join you guys.
Yeah.
I started an expansion.
Nell, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong. We're like 5 or 6 ish.
We're the same level, but I can't come to the old expansions until I get to a certain part in the current one that I'm in.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost there, actually.
Yeah. It's basically the part where you like leave the little like training area, right? Basically.
Yeah, pretty much once you get to the main town and they open up the docks. And
you basically leave Tutorial Island. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Guild Wars. I mean, don't be wrong. It's got some jank because it's old, and they didn't really they didn't update that. That was not the aim here. That was not the aim. So don't. If you're expecting it to be like a Guild Wars 2 experience, you are not going to be happy.
You're not going to have a good time.
For example, you cannot jump, which even in back in the day, I thought, well, that's the dumbest thing ever.
Right?
How the hell can I jump?
Right?
One
thing
I can
is
swim, but I can't jump. That's weird.
And you can't even swim.
That's true. Not in Guild Wars.
Yeah, so it's like, well, this is odd. This is strange, huh? But it works. That game is wonderful. I've always loved Guild Wars.
I'm also still
glad.
kind of passingly following the Dark Age of Camelot redo.
Oh, is that a thing still?
I think it's still a thing. Camelot Reforged.
Interesting. Because yeah, that is definitely on my was on my radar at one point, but I kind of fell off of it.
Dark Age of Camelot was the last game that I was hard into raiding on.
I loved Daeok, man.
I never got hard into raiding on WoW. I did quite a few of them, but not like it was not a dedicated raider.
Yeah.
By that time, I was like, nope, I am done with this frustration.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
That and the problem with raiding is it takes a time commitment, a serious time commitment.
Yeah.
And I just don't really have that or want to do that anymore.
I mean, fair.
Don't
That's
really have the desire.
And yeah, I mean that's absolutely. God, I'm trying to find this. I literally cannot find the Camelot Reforged information other than it's happening as of 2 years ago.
Well, yeah. I saw something terribly long ago. Talked about it. And there's another one too that's very similar to that, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, but yeah, I think realistically, Destiny 2 Renegades is exactly what we thought it was going to be, in both good and bad ways. And I think that we're going to be in an interesting space with Destiny moving forward if Sony just doesn't decide to pull the plug entirely.
Right.
Then they very well could.
Well, they could, but I don't think they'll pull the plug on it until it's functioning at a loss.
Fair. Which obviously right now it's not.
And the game itself is not functioning at a loss. Bungie is, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I don't think the game itself is yet. I don't think
the question becomes, how low does the average player base have to get before they decide it's no longer viable?
Right. Yep, and that's that is a question that fortunately or unfortunately only time will tell. And I think we're a ways off from that yet. I think they're going to let them get through whatever it is they have planned. And let's be real, there's a reason that the little seeds of Destiny 3 is coming or in early development were planted. There's a reason for that. I genuinely think what could honestly happen at this point is that Destiny 2 goes away. Destiny as a brand is gone for like a year, and then it comes back and then Destiny 3 is released. I think
I have a pet theory that it was somebody at Sony who basically said, "Okay, it's time. You should have started this years ago.
Yeah, you
need to get started on 3 to justify all the fucking money we spent on you."
Yeah, absolutely, because the only thing that Bungie is good for in terms of that investment at this point is the technology for live service.
Right.
And even then, lately they've still been kind of messing that up. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm always hopeful that they will make it a better game. I am always hopeful that it will be exactly what we needed or wanted to be. That said, I'm also realistic, and I understand that may not always be the case. But I think that's going to do it for us for the evening, friends. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by this evening. If you're listening on wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by, spending time with us. We always appreciate it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with this show. And then, you and I will be back at some point on this channel. I would assume this weekend, maybe tomorrow with the Game Awards. We may want to live react to the Game Awards.
It's true.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. We love y'all, and we'll speak to y'all real soon.
Yeah, cool.